Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritam Gamaya 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 Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritam Gamaya. Lead us, from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into light. Lead us from death to immortality. And coming from the Upanishads into our beloved Dalai Lama, this prayer of his was turned into a song, and then on his 88th birthday was turned into a dance of universal peace. We won't be dancing today, but hopefully you will be dancing in your souls. And even though I said we won't be dancing, the aisles are always open. As so many of the saints in the past have said, when we sing, we pray twice. I can't imagine how much exponentially we pray when we dance. So the words are, every day, think as you wake up. Today I am fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I've got a precious human life, and I'm not going to waste it. Whoa, that's what it is. So sing along as you learn it. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm fortunate. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. To have woken. I'm alive. I am alive. I had a precious human life. And I'm not going to waste it. Oh no. And I'm not going to waste it. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm fortunate. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I got a precious human life. And I'm not gonna waste it. And I'm not gonna waste it. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I got a precious human life. And I'm not gonna waste it. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I got a precious human life. And I'm not gonna waste it. Singing one more time. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I got a precious human life. And I'm not gonna waste it. That's right. That is so right. So hallelujah, hooray, Yahoo. My name is Gitanjali Lori Rivera. If you don't already know me, my pronouns are she and her. My people come from Puerto Rico and the British Isles. And I am blessed and honored and joyful to be your music minister, along with these phenomenal people up here. We've got Lauren Dechtenberg on piano. We've got Michael Santa Cruz back there banging on things. And we got lovely Valerie Byrne here singing with me. It's a phenomenal day because the Spirit is in this place. So we're going to sing about that. So again, get up, move around, sing, dance, make a joyful noise, because here we go. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Oh, we have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Oh, yeah. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Yes, it is now. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Sing along. Sing it. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Oh no! We sing in celebration. We sing with words of praise. We sing with words of praise. We affirm all life is sacred. We declare that peace is here and everywhere, because Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Oh, yeah. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Yes, it is, Lord. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Sing it out now. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Yeah. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. One more time, raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit's in this Spirit is in this place, and it's a beautiful thing. I want to invite you to wander around, say hello to people, maybe some people you don't know. Give them a big hug, say hi. Say hi to all of our friends on Facebook and on YouTube and all the good things. We are here. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, everybody. If I can get your attention, if somebody has a silver Honda 7SEP285 or something like that for the license plate, if you could please adjust your vehicle. People are trying to park and they can't get through. You're parked along the side of the RV here. If you could please just move your vehicle a little bit further into the back so somebody can park. Thank you.
That was a silver Honda in the back. Needs to be moved. Okay. Woo! Good morning. Good morning. Woo! A grand rising and welcome to everyone to our Sunday celebration service here at CSL Santa Cruz. If you haven't already, please make sure to silence your devices. A special welcome to those of you on YouTube and Facebook. We're so glad that you chose to join us this morning. We are, where am I? We are so pleased. Whether you are here in person or online, welcome to the center. My name is Leah Simone Reed. My pronouns are she and her, and my ancestors come from Italy and Ireland. I was telling Elijah this week that we were Italian all year round, but we are allowed to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day. So my Irish is coming out this month. My dad would send my mom little cheesy green flowers, and so. But otherwise, we were Italian. Okay. So we have a very special morning plan for you. We have a practitioner, Shira Stone, leading us in our spiritual practice. We have our beloved Reverend Grace Lovejoy is holding us in prayer all throughout service. Our musical muses today are our Minister of Music, Gitanjali Lori Rivera, with Valerie Byrne, Lauren Deckenberg on the keys, and our own CSL choir, and Michael Santa Cruz joining us on percussion. Wait, did you guys miss that? Our own CSL choir, I kind of rushed over that a little bit. And our message will be delivered to us today from Reverend Elijah Christopher. Please stay after service for more of this, social hour and potluck. Thanks to everyone with last names A through F for bringing food today. Next week, folks with last names G through L, you're up, it's your turn. Please bring something to share. Today and every first Sunday at 12:30 after service, we have ecstatic singing with Michael Santa Cruz here in the sanctuary. So be sure and stay after your social hour for some of that. Oh my gosh, look at this list. I'm going to go fast. This week at CSL, we have the new weekly Monday morning meditation with Amran Anis at 10:30 in the sanctuary, Monday mornings. Accessible movement here with Annika Rose each Monday at 4:30 in the social hall, so you get moving. Sacred Tara Dance Circle, Tuesday the 5th at 4:30 in the sanctuary. Qigong with John Fry here at 1 on Thursdays in the front lawn. Bodywise with Marcia Heath on Friday the 8th at 10:30. CSL Open Mic is back this Saturday and the first Saturday of every month at 6:30. Yay. Whew, there's so much happening here at CSL. Please check out our e-news and our website to get all the details for upcoming events and classes. If you're not getting our e-news, you can sign up in the social hall to get that to your email. You can also always find our weekly newsletter on our Facebook page. Visit our website to see the full calendar. Ministers and practitioners are available for prayer after service. Don't leave here with a heavy heart. It's their joy to pray with you. You can also send prayer requests to the prayer box in the back of the room or to send them to prayer@cslsantacruz.org. Okay, I'm going to invite Shira up to do our community prayer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. We are going to say our mission, purpose, and vision statement. There it is. Okay. Let's say this mindfully. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone and all life on earth. We are a community dedicated to possibility. Every week we read the inclusion statement for the Centers for Spiritual Living, and each of our consciousness is powerful, and when you put us together, it's even more powerful. And there's 400 CSLs across, is it the world or nationally? So we are joining with a lot of people in this. So as you hear this, know that you are joining with a powerful movement. We stand with all the centers for spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing that the teachings of Ernest Holmes speaks directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Yes. Unambiguously in support of gender equality and equity. Yes. Unambiguously in support of LGBTQI+ lives. Yes. And unambiguously in support of women being sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices. Now we're going to acknowledge that the land beneath our feet is from the unceded territory of the Awaswa-speaking Upi tribe, the Amamutsan tribal band. So please join me in a moment of silence to acknowledge this and feel the land beneath your feet. Thank you. And I invite practitioners to stand up to join me in this prayer. And as we go into it, you might notice who are the practitioners, because you can come to us with any prayers, and please do. So let's take a nice deep breath together. And as we breathe together, we are all breathing the breath of God, that one presence, eternally here. This is our true life that we are living. And this presence, this spirit, is in every cell of our body. And this presence is whole. It is in balance and in harmony. So let your attention go into the cells of your body, into the systems of your body, and know that everything right now is coming into harmony, into balance as we put our attention on God. That is the truth. And knowing this is so powerful. It lets our bodies realign, come back into their natural state of harmony. And calling upon this balance and harmony to go into our emotions as well. And if there's any places of hurting or fear, to let this presence of the divine hold you with this love that is constant, always present. And letting this grace of the love of God fill you and lift you up. And knowing that you are here in community, whether you are in person or online, and that connection to one another strengthens this awareness that we are one, strengthens that awareness of the one love, the one life. And I'm so grateful to know this. I'm so grateful to know this with you. God is also the substance of everything. So if there's any sense of lack, to know that this substance of God is unlimited, unlimited. So opening your awareness to letting that unlimited source manifest in your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, beloved divine presence. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for bringing us together, that we each heard the call and we came. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the truth that you are our life. And releasing this prayer now, knowing it is done. And so it is.
As the choir finds their way up to the stage, I want to invite any of you who feel inspired to join this choir to call me or email me or come and see me after our services today. And I just wanted to share very briefly that being part of a choir means that you're part of this ministry, that you get to be in community, as Shira just pointed out to us, in a subset of this greater CSL community. We get to know one another. We get to learn about each other's hopes and dreams and loves. And we get to create music together, which is one of the most communionable experiences. So you are invited to join us if this feels like a commitment that you can make to this ministry and to music. So please come and speak to me or speak to any one of these lovely people to find out what their experiences is, which is probably a good thing for you to do. This first song that we're going to share today is a song called Subhanallah. Subhanallah is one of the 99 beautiful names of God in the Sufi Islamic tradition. Subhanallah means all praise to that which is uncorruptible in our being, that which is uncorruptible in the heart and mind of the beloved, which is the divine. So Subhanallah by Alauddin Matthew. So before we invite our beloved Elijah Christopher to come up, we have one more song for you. This is from a group called October Project. I really encourage you to check them out on YouTube or however you hear music. They have taken these beautiful chants in English and made them into these beautiful rounds. So this one is called Grace. And the words are, now, in this moment, it's time to start over. Open your heart. You know there's nothing to forgive. Starting now.
Now in this moment, it's time to start over. Open your heart, you know there's nothing to forgive. Starting now in this moment, it's time to start over. Open your heart, you know there's nothing to forgive. Starting now in this moment, it's time to start over. Starting now in your heart, and there's nothing to start with. Starting now in your heart, starting now. Starting now, this moment, starting time to start over. Starting now, in your heart, starting now, starting now, starting now, starting now, in this moment, right now, to start over, right now, in your heart, starting
And that's our CSL choir, everybody. Good morning again. Before we jump in, I have two very brief announcements for you. One, actually two volunteer opportunities. We do need a few more greeters, especially for the fourth Sunday of the month. So if your love is to welcome people and welcome them into your space and give them hugs and tell them how amazing they are, you're our greeters. So see Becky. Becky, are you here right now? Nope. Okay, well, you can see me or Jason, and Becky's our volunteer coordinator. If you're interested in being a greeter, we'd love to welcome you into that portion of our ministry team. And also, if you've noticed, our parking lot is getting a bit full. If you're someone who loves to tell people what to do and where to go, we need some parking directors. And if that's your passion to help direct and organize where people are lining up and parking their cars, we could really use your support. So come again, see Jason or myself, and we'd love to get you on the team. And so with that, take a deep breath in and let it go. Another deep breath, letting it go. One more deep breath in. And so this year, our theme we are exploring is a grand rising. And really, this whole year's invitation is this invitation into our own individual and collective evolution. Really, that grand rising is about being part of that which is rising up in the world, that which is new, that which is emerging. And this month's theme, which comes from visioning from a team of folks around the organization who put these together, this month's theme is That's How We've Never Done It. Which is, I have been chewing on as all week. That's how, what? It's English is a fun thing to mix up sometimes. That's how we've never done it. And I was thinking about this week, about this theme of evolution, of participating in the evolutionary process. And I realized that the history of evolution of life on Earth has been full of that's never how we've done it moments. Right? I was thinking about those first organisms that crawled out of the ocean onto dry land, and everybody else in the water going, well, that's never how we've done it. That as we were crawling around on four legs for a couple million years, suddenly someone stood up one time and everyone else went, well, that's never how we've done it. Right? And yet, that's what evolution looks like. Right? When we step out into the new, when we embrace the possible, when we become that which we are becoming, it's going to be full of moments where we have to greet life, greet situation, think about ourselves or someone or something in a way that perhaps we've never allowed ourselves to think about it before. That if we actually want to evolve, if we actually want to become more of who we are meant to be, then it means we kind of have to let go of how we've always done it and think about the ways we've never done it. Right? I think about the history of this community here and also of Centers for Spiritual Living as I just came back from the Spiritual Living Conference 2 weeks ago. That we often love the ways that we've always done things. Right? It's comfortable. But our organization, this community, just last month, we just turned 60, by the way, this center. And so we're going to be starting to celebrate our 60th anniversary throughout this year and keep reminding us that there's a legacy, there's a history here, right? And at the same time, for I think a long time, we here, and maybe we've all done this in our own individual lives, had got very comfortable with how things were, with who was in the room, with what we were doing, and things didn't change much for a long time because we just continued to operate in the way that we always had been. And then as we came in and we started to shift things up and mix things up and start to do things differently, I know in the first year that I was here, at least, maybe still a little bit, I've gotten a lot of, well, that's never how we've done it. And my response, sometimes sarcastically, sometimes quite seriously, has been, well, how's that worked out? And if we look at our lives, if we look at our circumstances, if we look what's unfolding personally, collectively, individually, in the world, everything we're experiencing right now, whatever it is the result of how we were doing it. And if it looks like what we're getting isn't what we want or isn't working, well, then let's try something we've never tried before. Right? We call this movement that we are part of New Thought. Which might be an invitation. Right? To continuously be on the edge of creating, emerging into, thinking into new thoughts. Because it's the patterns of our thinking, it's the patterns of our behavior, it's the patterns of the way that we've moved through life that have gotten us to where we are. And if we don't like where we are, then maybe it's time to think up some new thoughts. Just to look at, okay, I've learned everything I can from doing it the way that I've always done it. What could I learn now if I look forward in a new way and ask myself, how have I never done it? What would it look like to step out into your life, into your healing, into your relationship, into your job, into whatever the thing is that you're working on? What would it look like to step out into that area of your life and take the opportunity to do something completely differently? How could that potentially change the situation? Because what I know is that whatever we're looking for, whatever we're looking through, whatever we are looking, the lens we are looking through is what we're going to see. And so if we want to see something different, sometimes it means we have to shift up our perspective to look in a new way. Right? And I look at our global society, our American society, I look at things that are going on in the world around us, and it's like we really could use some new thoughts. Right? And a lot of the ways that we have been doing things the way that we've always done it really wasn't working. But we bought into the comfortability of the familiarity of the uncomfortability. And we'd rather sit in what's comfortable, no matter how painful or ugly or destructive it could be, than step out into the unknown and do something new, do something completely differently. And yet, that's where the possibility lies. That's where your healing is. That's where something new is waiting for you. But it means we actually have to move. We have to be willing to let go of what we think we know and maybe be willing to be open to the fact that maybe we didn't know. I personally don't like to be proven wrong. Ever. And yet, that is often where my growing edge is. When I find out that perhaps there's a way that I didn't see something, a way that I didn't know something, perhaps there's something that wasn't in my perspective, and then suddenly, once I get that awareness, it shifts everything. You know, many of us have a lot of privilege, which means that there are things we don't know about other people's experience. And it might be a little bit painful to realize some of the ways that we have unconsciously been perpetuating the systems of oppression that have been hurting other people. But once I know, well, then it gives me the opportunity to look at myself, to do that inner work, to do that deep introspection and reflection, to then see, okay, if I've unconsciously been perpetuating things that I don't want to see in the world, what would it look like to be consciously perpetuating the things that I do want to see in the world? And that's a whole different game, right? The power of our consciousness is incredibly creative. Our consciousness is incredibly powerful. But Ernest Holmes, founder of this philosophy, Science of Mind, says that trained thought is much more powerful than untrained thought. Right? And so there's lots of unconscious thoughts that are creating in the world, but we're here in a place where we're taught, where we learn, where we can study, where we can take classes to teach ourselves how to think, to train our minds to be on purpose, for us to be a people who are consciously, purposefully creating the world that we want to see. And that consciousness is actually way more powerful than the unconscious activity that's at work. So let's be a people who are dedicated to becoming on purpose, to thinking on purpose, to being as conscious, awake, and aware as we possibly can. But that's going to also mean that we have to be willing to ride that edge of what we don't know, to be on that leading edge of where are the new thoughts, which also means that we have to be willing to look at ourselves and be willing to ask, where are we clinging on to those old thoughts? Where would we rather be comfortable than change? You know, there's a lot of stuff up in the world. You've noticed, I'm sure. And I'm not going to go into any details about any particular thing right now, but it's amazing how often I hear people say, well, that's just how I've always known it. Well, that's how I've always done it. I'm just comfortable with that. And is that more important than stopping someone else's pain? Just a question. Are we willing to let go of how we've always done it and maybe begin to look at how we've never done it and see if maybe that's the change that's needed? And that can be an invitation for each one of us as we look at our lives in any of those stuck or difficult or uncomfortable places. If you're struggling in your relationship, if you're struggling with your health, if you're struggling with getting your needs met, maybe look at how you've always done it. And then think about the ways that you've never tried it before, the ways that you've never approached the situation, the ways that you've never allowed yourself to look at it. Because maybe by looking in a different way, you'll see something that you didn't see before. Because if we just keep looking at the same thing through the same lens day in and day out, we're going to potentially even lose our ability to see outside of that perspective, which means we have to practice, right? Your brain is kind of like a muscle. You have to work it out. If you don't work it, if you don't try, if you don't move beyond the comfortable, it will atrophy. And your brain is also set up to program you to just perpetuate whatever you perpetuate. So if you're perpetuating the same thing all the time, your brain tells you that that's the truth. But if you perpetuate a perspective that is constantly looking for newness, your brain will then become programmed, will then become an automatic to start looking for those things that you weren't able to see before. Does that make sense? And one of the spiritual technologies, we'll call it, that I think that we offer in this place and that we practice here as a community is the power of prayer to turn our minds in a different direction. Right? That's this process of spiritual mind treatment that we do, the prayers that you hear me speak, the prayers that you hear our practitioners speak. We have a formula, we have a method that we use that helps us train our minds to look in a new way, to look for new thoughts, to be reminded of a higher truth, even when the circumstances seem to tell us something else. And I know that I have seen miracles. I have seen dramatic changes in people's health and people's lives and people's circumstances when we use the power of prayer to tell our minds, tell our physical brains that there's a different truth going on than what we can see. And when we choose to look to that higher perspective, suddenly something else starts to become available. So take a deep breath in and let it go. I want to invite you just to think to yourself for a moment about some area of your life. It could be a relationship, it could be health, it could be how you feel about what's happening in the world. But think of some place of struggle. And think to yourself for a moment about how you've always done it. The way that you've greeted this relationship, the way that you've thought about your health, the way that you've held what's happening in the world. And just think about the program that you've been running all along. And then take another deep breath. And now just invite into your mind, what is a way that I've never thought about this? How have I never done this before? What would be a new thought? just imagine for a moment that new thought then opens a door in your mind. On the other side of that door, there are new possibilities, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways of addressing the situation. And so in your mind's eye, in your imagination, in the felt sense within your body, if you are willing, I invite you to simply imagine or think about or feel yourself walking through that door. And telling yourself that as you do so, new perspectives and new ways start to show up. What would it look like for you in your own life to take those first steps out of the water in which you've been swimming and step out onto a new land to gain a new perspective? What would it look like to truly stand up and rise into a new way of seeing? So take another deep breath and let it go. Another deep breath in, let it go. One more deep breath and let it go. So what I know is that there is one seamless presence that is living and breathing throughout the entirety of the universe. That it is this one who is unfolding, who is living, who is breathing in, through, and as everyone, everything, every when, everywhere, one conscious energy, one life force, one power, one presence. I call it God. Perhaps you call it the universe. Perhaps you call it energy or consciousness or the divine, whatever word you have for it. I don't care what you call it. I just care that you call it. So let's call upon this one truth that there is only one of us here, and that one is living as every person on this planet. That indeed every life is sacred, that indeed every life is divine. Not only every human life, every animal life, every plant life, the life of the planet itself, all of it is sacred. So in this moment of collective prayer, can we just call upon that realization, not only for ourselves, but for humanity? That we awaken to our spiritual magnificence, that we awaken to the realization that the sacred is everywhere. So that from the depths of our heart as a collective society, as a global family, that we can call for a ceasefire on all war everywhere forever from now on. Let us stop what we have been doing. Let us stop the way that we've been doing it all along, and let's try something we've never tried before. To lift our consciousness to the more, to lift our consciousness into love, to lift our consciousness into a place of healing. Because if there's only one of us here, then how could we be anything and do anything but be and fall in love with each other? And so in this moment, I just speak a word of gratitude for this community, for who we are becoming, for our individual and collective willingness to let go a little bit of that which has made us comfortable all along, and stepping into the new ways of doing and being. Because we are writing a new story, we are writing a new script, we are creating a new version of how we want to be in the world. And as each one of us makes that choice, as we as a community makes that choice, as Centers for Spiritual Living around the world rises in this year of Grand Rising to a new formation of who we are in the world, we then can be a place of invitation for all of humanity, for all people, for all beings to step up into that evolution. Let us be the people who step out into that evolutionary new way, where those around us say, well, that's never how we've done it. But that looks really good. Maybe there's something new that is calling us forward. So let us say yes to it. And so I say yes, as I let it be. And so it is. So take another deep breath. I'm going to invite Shira to join me up here. So if you've been with us for some time, you know, and if you're new here today, the first Sunday of the month, we take the opportunity to do a little extra collective prayer, to use the power of our collective consciousness, the power of our collective intention, to lift up the prayers that are here in this space, that are on our heart, that are living in the people here in this place. And the thing that I know is that Lynn McTaggart in The Power of Eight in the Intention Experiment says that any time a group of people focus on the same thing at the same time, something more becomes available. Or she says the power of intention multiplies depending on how many people are thinking the same thought at the same time. So that's also the power of collective prayer. When we rally together around a person, around an idea, around a possibility, around something that we're calling forward, and we all put our attention on it at the same time, we activate, we magnify, we open the possibilities. So what we're going to do for the next few minutes is I'm going to open up a space. And if there's anyone here who would like to ask for prayer from this group of people, which is also a radically brave act to do, to say, you know what, this is how I've always done it, that's how I've never done it, and I want to make the shift, right? If there's a healing that you need in your body, if there's a forgiveness that you need in your heart, if there's something that you want to call in for yourself or the world, this is the opportunity. And we will make that a collective prayer, and then I'm going to invite everybody here to use the power of your voice, the power of your consciousness, to speak, to activate, to chant, to tone, to sing that prayer into existence, okay? So, who wants to receive some prayer today? Come on up, Robert. Tell us your prayer.
Well, on January 20th, you all know I had a fall. I'm very humbled. It was in a rainstorm, and it was discovered I have spondylolisthesis, which is a bone deformity between the fourth and fifth vertebrae. And I've been coming here for probably 15 years. And I used to play bass over here for y'all. So I'd like a prayer for my backbone, my fourth and fifth vertebrae, for a healing so I can go out there and continue to serve.
Absolutely. So I'm going to invite you to stand right down here. And can I ask a couple of my practitioners, maybe Tamara, or Tamara if you're available, or Cheryl, just to come stand with Robert. And I'm going to invite everybody else to stand up. And Shira's going to play the crystal bowls, and I'm going to invite her to bring some toning, to bring the power of her voice into the room. And that's also permission for you to do the same. I know many of you are trained by Reverend Deborah Johnson at Inner Light to do spiritual mind treatment, to do prayer. I invite you to use the power of your voice in this room. If you have a tone, if you have a mantra, if you have a prayer, even just to sing the words healing, healing, healing over and over and over again, we're going to give all of our love and attention to this person, Robert Parala, who is standing right here, right now. This is a prayer for physical healing, a prayer for support, a prayer for strength, a prayer for vitality. So take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath in and let it go. One more deep breath. Breathe in. And let us give our prayer to this beloved here and now. So right here and right now, as I speak my word, I invite the collective voice of this room to speak Because what I know is that there is only one of us here. There is one life. There is one power. There is one presence. There is one pattern of wholeness that comes from the divine mind into each one of us. And so, as I know that in the mind of God, there is a perfect pattern for Robert's body, for every bone in his body, for the skeletal structure, for all that supports him and lifts him up. What I know is that that divine pattern is perfect. That divine pattern is whole. That divine pattern is absolutely complete. And so we open up this space right here and right now to remember the perfection of this individual who stands before us in this moment. And so as we breathe together, as we speak together, as we raise this vibration, let us remind Robert's body how to remember that wholeness. Let us remind his body how to remember that strength. Let us remind his body how to open up and receive that pattern of wholeness, wellness, and perfection. Because what I know is that there is a power greater than he is, greater than we are, that supports him, that lifts him up, that strengthens him, that pattern is encoded in every cell, in every tissue, in every muscle, in every function, in every bone of the body. And so let us be in this moment a place of believing in the possibility that a healing can happen, that the body can rejuvenate itself, that the body can bring itself back to that perfect state of homeostasis and alignment. And so for Robert, I also speak a word of support, knowing that he is supported in his life, in all that he seeks to be and do in the world, and that he is seen, that he is known, that he is felt for the being, the love that he shines in this life. And so I give gratitude for Robert. I give gratitude for all the ways that he shows up in the world, knowing that he is a shining presence, that he is a healing presence, that he is one that the world needs. And so we lift him up so that he may be the greatest possible version of himself. And I also speak a word for anyone here in this space who's seeking healing in the physical body, that this prayer is also for them, that anyone here who needs that strength, who needs that alignment, that it is available right here and right now. And so I speak this word remembering, knowing, claiming, and declaring that there is a power for good in this universe that is so much greater than we are, that has been driving evolution for all of time, that has been mending bones, that has been healing bodies, that has been evolving all of life. And it is that very same power that is at work right here and right now in the collective consciousness of this room as we wrap it around this beloved that we know as Robert, that we know here and now that a healing is taking place. Not only for him, but for all of us and for all of life. Because indeed there is only one of us here. And let that one reveal its absolute perfection right here, right now. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Deep breath in. Let it go. One more deep breath. And let it go. And so I say, and so it is.
Thank you, guys.
So the floor is open. We'll take a couple opportunities for healing today. Is there anyone else who wants to receive? Come on down. Hi, Paula. So if you can just give us in a sentence what the request is.
My request is for peace, justice, safety, and healing for all Palestinians.
Absolutely. So you heard it, friends. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Take a deep breath in again and let go. Before we speak, I want to bring in this awareness that not only are we praying for the people of Gaza, we are praying for the healing of the consciousness that brings war into the world. So we also bring in the people of Ukraine, the people of Sudan. There are people all over this world who need our love, who need our prayer. So let's make this prayer as big as we possibly can. So take another deep breath and let it go. And Paula, thank you for being the holder and the focus of this prayer. Friends, let us speak our words here and now. So here and now, once again, I claim, know, and declare that all life is sacred. That the one life, that the one power, the one presence, the one spirit that I call God, the beloved, the infinite one, is living and breathing in everyone, in everything, everywhen, everywhere, all the time. And when I say there is no spot where God is not, that means that on any side of any border, all is God. All is love. And so here in this moment, as I remember that every life is sacred, that every Palestinian life is sacred, that every Ukrainian life is sacred, that every Ugandan life is sacred, that every Israeli life is sacred, that every Russian life is sacred, that every American life is sacred, that indeed every life is sacred, let us lift up the consciousness of humanity in this moment, right here and right now, that we may stop the way that we have been doing things up until now, that we may stop the oppression, that we may stop the invasions, that we may stop the genocide, that we may stop all of the things that no longer serve who we are, because who we are becoming is an evolved humanity. Who we are becoming is a compassionate humanity. Who we are becoming is one human family that recognizes the intrinsic value of every living being on this planet. And so in that awareness, let us banish that which no longer serves. Let us banish war. Let us banish any seeming sense of separation. Let us banish any seeming sense of power over, that we may lift our society, that we may lift our global consciousness into an awareness that we are here because of and for each other. We are in here in service to life. We are here to lift each other up, and that there is no way that we can do anything to anyone else without realizing that that is what we are doing to ourselves in the process. Because if there's only one of us here, how we treat the other is how we are treating God. And so if the Spirit of the living God were to show up in front of each one of us, how would we treat them? How would we receive them? If we realize that it is that living presence that is living on the other side of any border that we may have any thoughts about, let us remember that that too is our spiritual sibling. That too is our spiritual reflection, because, again, there is only one of us here. So let us in this moment make this a prayer for true peace. For peace between all nations, for peace between all people, for peace in every home, for peace in every heart. Because when we conjure that truth, that peace, that love, that harmony, that remembrance that God is all that there is, we create a space where nothing other than that can exist. So let us move towards an evolutionary consciousness that brings us towards a world that works for all, that brings us towards a world where we remember the sacred in every life, that even brings us to a place where we realize that every land is holy land, that every place we step our foot is a holy place, that the earth herself is sacred. So let us move to a place where we remember, we live in the absolute truth that God is all that there is, and that there is nothing, and that there is no one that we are willing to even conceive is outside of that truth. And so in this moment, I can give a word of gratitude for the opportunity to speak this truth freely here in this place. And I celebrate a future moment where we as humanity say yes to love and nothing else. And so in that, I can surrender in this moment, knowing that the vibrations of this collective prayer ripple out around the world. And we breathe. And we breathe. And we breathe. And so it is. Thank you. Take a deep breath in. And so let's just take this moment here and now in the vibration, the resonance of this prayer. That if there's anyone here who's seeking healing in the physical body in any way, If you're able, I invite you just to stand up right now and even raise your arms up into the air above you, remembering that in the mind of the divine, for each one of us, there is a template, a pattern of wholeness for our perfect health and wellness and physical vitality. Reach up and imagine that you could just grab that perfect pattern and pull it down over and into your body. And as you do so, take a deep breath in and adjust. Stand up a little taller, breathe a little deeper, spread out your shoulders, your arms, and feel that template of wholeness, that pattern of perfection washing over you. And if there's any one of us here and even online, you can do the same thing we're doing here in the room. If there's anyone who's seeking healing in the areas of abundance, of finances, of prosperity, of having your basic or any of your needs met, I invite you to stand up right now and open your arms up wide. Tilt your head back a little bit, raise your eyebrows, and smile. In that willingness to accept your good. And if there's anyone here in this space who's seeking healing in the areas of love, relationship, or forgiveness, this is your opportunity to stand up. First, placing your hands on your heart, taking a deep, deep breath, and then opening your arms and sending that love out, knowing that as you do so, it comes back and you are able to receive it again. Open your arms and then sweep that love and bring it back to your own heart. And so if there is anyone who is on your heart in this moment or in your mind that you want to include in this collective prayer we have cultivated here together today, I invite you to speak those names out loud right now. And I just feel called to speak a word for every person who is running for any position of leadership in this nation, that their minds be open to this divine truth, that there is only one of us here, that we are here in service to each other and in service to life, and that our one great, high, and holy purpose is to reveal love and be in service to God in the other. And so for all of this and the more, I just say yes. I say, and so it is. I say, amen. I say, ashe. I say, abracadabra. There it is. And by the way, abracadabra is ancient Hebrew. That means I create what I speak. Bet you didn't know that, did you? So we are going to move to our time of sacred giving, my friends. I want to say thank you for being here today, for participating in all that we're doing here. And if you are feeling uplifted and inspired by this place, by who we are, by the people here, I invite you to share your gifts with us, to invest in this community so that we can continue to evolve into who we are becoming. And so if you have a gift to share with us this morning, and to those of you who give online, to those of you who regularly give automatically, we just say thank you. So if you will repeat after me, for all that I am, for all that I have, for all that I give, for all that I receive, I am truly grateful. Because we're blessed.
As we are blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Good Lord.
One more time, friends.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so I just say that I am so grateful and that I am so blessed to be part of this beloved community. And I just give great thanks for every gift given that makes this, the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz, who we are, and even greater thanks for who it is that we are becoming. I give thanks for every financial gift, for the gifts of time and talent and energy, for our beautiful musicians, for our tech crew, for the kitchen help, for the greeters, for the practitioners, for myself, for everyone who's working in the back offices, for everyone and everything who steps through these doors, for all that is on our hearts, for the compassion, for the love, for the forgiveness, for the possibility. I am grateful. And so I just lift up this gratitude. And so it is. And so I just want to say thank you, my friends. The choir's going to come on up. We have one closing song they're going to share with us. And I just have one brief announcement for you as the choir comes up. Many of you have left some things here over the last number of months. So we set up a lost and found table in the sanctuary. There's about a dozen and a half, in the social hall, there's water bottles, there's jackets, there's glasses, there's all kinds of fun things that you might not even know that you left here. So do please check the lost and found in the social hall before you leave today. We're going to keep it there for a few weeks, and then if you don't claim it, we're going to give it to someone else who might need it. So go check out that table in the social hall after service. Thank you, everyone. I love you. Here we go, folks.
All right, we've got one more song for you. This is from our beloved friends, Mom Muse. If you know it, just sing along.
Every time I feel this way, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. I'll lay myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, as you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry. troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in this heart of hearts, with the knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry. I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry, where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
Thank you, musical minister. You touched me today. And your choir did too. So all of you rocked and I loved it. I'm really grateful. You're meeting on Wednesdays? Here? 6 to... Okay. I think I might need to come in and get a piece of this. Get a little piece of this. I've never done this before. I need to try different things.
There you go.